Hello. Welcome. How you guys doing? Today I'm gonna be doing my most in-depth beginner guide for you guys. I know a lot of players are starting the game, players coming back just for a carry on, or just picking the game with the first anniversary. So I thought of making, a beginner guide to cover almost everything about the game and what should you, consider starting Star Rail. So yeah, if you felt this video was helpful for you, consider leaving a like and subscribe. I really don't like saying that, but it would really help me. Like, the channel is still getting up to 1000, so if you want to consider checking out the channel, consider leaving a like and subscribe. So let's start with the first thing about a MiHoYo game. Farming gear. I know that's the one thing people hate. That's the one thing people think is very painful to go through. And I will tell you this: starting the game, you should not farm any relics at all, as the game gives you already enough gear to get to do story, be able to farm. Like here, for example, you get a full defense, not defense, but damage reduction set, which you can use for your sustain character. You also get an ice set, which also you can use for any ice DPS, which I will get into that too. And there is the healing set. I know it's a 3-star set, but it will still do the job. Trust me, I've been there. So you can use all these sets that you get from here up to account rank 60. So let me tell you, I've been playing the game since day 1, right? And I actually have not farmed that many gear. And keep in mind, my stamina has always been used. I never let my stamina get capped, and I just don't farm gear, and I'll get into that too. So chasing gear in this game, yes, you might get unlucky with some gear sets, but you will still be able to beat the game and complete the story, do all the modes without an issue. Second point is your story. Make sure to always clear up all the missions you have, go with the story, just finish everything, because when you do that, you'll get enough XP to level up your account early. You want to get to level 60 as fast as you can. Keep in mind, you don't have to refill energy, just do the story, just use your energy and you will be fine. Also, one thing to add up, so you understand the game more, they actually made an in-game guide that will explain every mechanic about, especially this is a turn-based game, so doing this guide will really be helpful for you to understand how the game works. Also, will give you stamina and not stamina, I mean XP and jades, which you would need for your characters, right? So yeah, but yeah, basically don't focus on the gear. The game will already give you that. Finish all the story, do the side quests. They're not that hard to beat, and it's also fun. If there is some of it is a bit challenging, it will be fun beating these content. And yeah, that's basically it at the start of the game. How to progress is easy. Just always do your dailies. Dailies in this game don't maximum. I would finish them in 2 minutes. So dailies in this game is just really not that hard to complete, and it doesn't take much time of your day, and you get 60 jades every day from them, so they're great. All right, so make sure that you always do your dailies and not skipping them. How to use your stamina. This is one thing that people, at the start of the game, so I told you not to farm. Again, this goes back to you. You get to decide if you want to farm or not, but I feel like me sharing my experience playing the game would help some people out. So if you don't want to farm gear at the start of the game, which I think you shouldn't, here's what I think you should do. So of course there is the weekly bosses. They have 3 tries every week. Make sure to always do them. They also give you gear and light cones, which are kind of your weapons if you're coming from Genshin. So this is a win-win to always use your stamina on these 3 times a week. It's only 30 stamina, so it's not bad. Next thing is do the ascension mats for the characters you want to build, and the trace mats, which are the traces or like the skills that the characters need to, like, you know, get their highest damage, be able to heal the most, like support character, you know, just the skills. Level up your skill, level up the characters, level up the light cones, which is the weapons. So basically that's what I think you should be focusing on at the start of the game and not waste it here on the relic stages. So it's just a waste at the start because you're always gonna get like the blue drops, which not that great. You don't want to waste your energy on this. This costs also 40 energy, so yeah. So basically that's what I think is helpful at the start of the game. Also, that gets me to the next point. Make sure that you add a whale friend. As you can see here, I have Adama Senpai, one of the biggest whales in the game. Look at his Jingliu, E6, right? His blade, E6. His Charon, E6. So whenever I'm struggling in store in like anything that I want to farm, I can just take his characters and like just destroy the content. Especially that if I'm new to the game and just take a high leveled up character, they will just destroy everything. So make sure that you add friends. If you like, feel free to join Discord. Even the games Discord, you will find people as well. So all these are very helpful to help you progress your account. Next thing is team build. So there is a lot of characters now in Honkai, right? I know we have like 2 5 stars every version, and then we get 4 stars along the way. How can you build a team? Just not gonna build 2 DPSs and just go with that, right? So what you want to do in like building any team is just go for at least 1 DPS, 1 debuffer or like a sub DPS, a support character, and either a healer or someone who puts a shield or like a preservation character. These are the 4 main elements of a team, and sometimes it can change, depends on the character. Like sometimes characters would need 2 support characters, like for example the hyper carries, for example Jing Yuang, Bibiter Lune. These characters will like take different support characters or different team comps, but mainly what you need to be looking for is to invest in 1 DPS, in 1 support character, in 1 healer, and maybe in like Silver Wolf or Pella or something like that. But again, you can just look up for characters that you have and what are the teams that they can fit with, and you really get at the start of the game enough characters to help you build a full team. Like for example, at the start you're gonna have your Trailblazer, which is your tank on the team, right? Then you're gonna have Natasha, which is a very good healer at the start of the game as well. Then you're gonna have, if you're gonna pull for a DPS, great. If you still have the option to pick Dr. Ratio, which is still free, is great as well. Then you can probably invest into a support character, which you also get the first character for free, which is Asta. So that's kind of a team that you want to like start with at the beginning. Again, depends on what you pull for. The team's gonna look different, but that's the team comp in the game. Of course, there's a lot of archetype teams. There's DWT teams like with Kafka, Black Swan, Sampu, Luca. All these characters, they are not as, you know, like their team build is not as other teams that you would see, but you will find that either join Discord, check Twitter, check YouTube. A lot of people make guides for teams. Depends on the characters that you want in that team. So yeah. Next is the crafting, which goes back to the relics, which is the main thing that you think of. So as I said, you don't need to farm relics, but here in this game there's actually something really good compared to other MiHoYo games, where you can actually just craft the newest relic piece without having to go to farm for it. Yes, you'll still need to get gear to salvage, right? But you'll still be able to craft a piece. Also, with events, you have this item called modeling resin. This would allow you to pick the stat that you need for any, like for example, here's the body. This one can give you crit damage, crit rate. You can select which main stat that you need and just go craft it. Most of my characters in this game, I just have a crafted gear for them. Like for example, my Acheron, she doesn't have the best relic set that, you know, people can flex their stats with, but considering this is a crafted stats, I'm proud of it. I don't have the best crit rate, I have a good crit damage, I have good attack. This is all crafted. I didn't have to go out of my way to farm and waste energy. And then I call it waste energy because I prefer building more characters than wasting it on just gear that I just can't guarantee getting that gear. So I'm just gonna guarantee leveling up a character, max them out, and then enjoy them later. Yes, I don't have the best relic set, but I'm still able to clear everything in the game. Like, here is the end game content for Honkai is between Memory of Chaos and Pure Fiction, and I'm able to clear all of them every like rotation without an issue. Because the game is, again, it's not that hard to clear stuff in the game. You just need probably just the main stat and that's it. The substats are, yeah, also will help you to improve more and clear stuff faster, but at the end of the day you will still be able to clear everything with just the bare minimum. So that's what I meant when you don't have to go out of your way to, you know, farm gear and just miss out on like leveling up the actual characters. So that's what I meant when I was talking about that. Next is the simulated universe reset. This will also help you a lot with the progression of your account. So this is your simulated universe. It's reset every week. You get this item, which gives we get 4 of it every week. It's 4 kind of a 4 stamina drops for the simulated universe, which will also give you the gear that you need. So make sure that you always do the simulated universe runs, probably do like twice a week, and from there you will get also the currency to buy light cones. Yes, this game gives you free 5-star light cones. I would say the hunt one is pretty amazing, especially that you have now Dr. Ratio. You can also use it destruction. These two are probably the best 2 that you can get. Please don't waste them on the standard pulls because you will get enough. So please don't go and waste them on this. And this is where you can buy the dupes to max out these light cones. So yeah, make sure that you probably get one of these 2 at the start of the game, depends on who's your DPS, and you should be fine. Next is the standard banner. Now that I mentioned the standard banner, let's go into the standard banner. This is our standard banner where we have a selector that I already used, but there should be a selector here when you get to, I think, 300, I think something like that. You can select one of the standard character. You have Himiko, Welt, Bronya, Chapord, Clara, Yanqing, and Bailu. These are the standard characters so far, and of course the best one is Bronya. Like, it's not even, that's not a discussion to have, but if you already have Bronya on a reroll, that's another question. Would you want to reroll or not? It depends on you. If you don't have the time for it, it's not really worth it. If you have the time, rerolling takes around 40 minutes, 45 minutes. So if you want to reroll for Bronya, awesome, go for it. If you don't, it's fine. If you already have Bronya, you can consider going for, I don't know, Jetpard is good. Bailu if you don't have any other healers. So these are characters to consider. Also, Himiko is very good character for a specific content I will get into later on. So standard characters, they're all great. I'll say the worst one is Yanqing. The rest are really good, and you will always find a use for them. Next is the characters that you would consider building. This is basically a PvE game. Go for characters that you like. It's not that hard to beat the game. Again, if there is a character coming soon and you feel like you really like this character a lot, but people say this character is not great, I would say go for the character that you like to enjoy the game. If you just keep pulling for meta characters, you're gonna come to a point where you just don't enjoy the game anymore. So make sure that you always follow what you like. Meta comes, I don't believe in meta, so if you like a character, please go for it. Don't let the character that you like just go away and you skip on them just because someone said the character is bad, or just put them bad in the tier list. If Yangsheng is your favorite character, hell yeah, go for it. But yeah, the game gives you a lot of 4-star characters, and a lot of them are really great. So with every version, I think we can probably not every version, but we've been had a lot of free selectors so far for 4 stars, and we getting Herta, which is another free E6 character that you can get from just doing the simulated universe. It's a very great character to invest into, especially that there is a whole endgame mode catered for characters like Herta and Himiko, which is pure fiction. This mode is just based on AoE attacks, and Herta is just very good in that. Himiko as well. So I would say building Herta at the start of the game, it's not the best, but I would say build the DPS first. Build an actual probably a destruction or a hunt DPS, and then after you can go for Herta, because also Herta is going to be good for farming mats as well for you. Like any stage that you would just need to farm like trace mats or like ascension mats, you will take Herta. She will be really good for that. And building here is not that hard as well. You also can take the ice set. Remember when I said that the game gives you like already like a lot of sets? Here there is a full ice set that you can use early for Herta. Also now that I mentioned the relics, you're also gonna get another relic set from Pom Pom just by leveling your account. So here, going to Pom Pom, and then let's go for the Trailblaze level. It's gonna go back long way back. Okay, so here, for example, when you get to level 44, you're gonna get this defense piece, which will be very, very good for your Trailblazer. I think you're gonna get the full defense set just from Pom Pom here. So yeah, here there's more 4-star pieces which you can still use early in the game until you get the full 5-star version of this, which is amazing for the Trailblazer as your shield. So yeah, again, going back to the characters that you want to consider building, Trailblazer is one of them. You can actually just rely on the Trailblazer as your main preservation character. You can go for a healer as Natasha, so these two can be on your team. Then you can go for just support and a DPS after. Even March 7th, she's also not that bad. You want to consider that too. And then yeah, it's just Herta, and if you still have the option to pick Dr. Ratio, he's also an amazing character to consider building. I'm not gonna talk about the limited characters because it depends on which version you start playing the game, but Charon is a beast. So if you want to go for a Charon and you have her, of course, build her right away. She's really amazing to have as a DPS. So yeah, basically, again, characters to consider as starting the game would be Bronya if you're gonna reroll for her, would be a DPS, either Dr. Ratio or I'll say it's just Dr. Ratio for me here because he's still free. And then there's more 4-star characters that you can build. Serval actually is a very good option as well to consider. Herta, I would say Herta would be the second DPS to build. She's really great, especially that you can E6 her also early in the game. We can just go do Simulated Universe and you'll be able to max her out E6. So definitely consider Herta. You will get Natasha as your healer. You can get Lynx also for free. And yeah, that's basically how you build teams. And then later on, after you finish the first team, then you consider the second team, and so on and so forth. So yeah, and with that, get me to the last 2 points. Is the Battle Pass. Would you want to buy the Battle Pass at the start of the game? I don't really think so. It's like, of course, it goes back to you. If you want to spend, it's up to you. But if you want to think about it, the game gives you a lot of XP from just doing the story, so it's great. But to consider that the battle pass gives you light cones, this light cone is not bad to pick up, which is a 10 young light cone. This light cone is great to pick. Others are just I don't feel like any of these light cones hold any value because there's more replacements for them. So this light cone is good if you want to pick it from the battle pass. If you don't, the battle pass value is not that great until you finish the story and you don't have much XP and you want to use, you know, your stamina for other stuff other than XP. So yeah. And my last point, which is tier list. And would you want to look at tier list at the start of the game? Yes and no. Yes, if you just gonna follow meta and you want to know who are the best characters, of course, go ahead and look and check who are the most, you know, respectable tier lists out there, and you can go with that. But if you want to follow your favorite characters and just go pull for that, ignore tier lists at the start of the game. You don't really need that. You can still clear the entire game with 4-star characters, so you will be fine, right? But if you want to have the best teams possible to clear things easier and faster than anyone else, yeah, sure, you can look at that. That regarding the tier list, it's mostly an opinion, and like, then again, there are characters that are good now, might not be good later, then will be good after. For example, Jing Yuang. This guy here, he is getting a buff every single version. Literally. Sometimes he's very bad, sometimes he's amazing. It just goes up and down. That doesn't mean characters will be bad. This character was released a year ago, and he's doing great so far. So if you want to go for a character, go for it without, you know, looking much into tier lists and like opinions on people, because everyone's gonna have a different opinion on characters. So if you like a character, again, I have to keep saying that every video, go for it, please, so you can enjoy the game. And the last thing also is to plan ahead, because now we're getting a new character every version and there is a rerun. Like, there are characters that I feel like are very essential for accounts. They help you a lot, like characters like Ruan Mei. In general, Harmony characters are just too good. Like, ignore the first 4, but you have Sparkle, you have Ruan Mei, you have Bronya, you have Hanya, you have, like, all these characters are really good to consider building. So if you want to plan ahead and like see what is upcoming next for like each version, consider saving for them. You don't have to keep building pity and just lose it on like characters that you don't need. So always look up for characters that are coming soon, so you know you'll be able to prepare for them. Always Harmony characters, I think, and characters like Fu Shuang or Adventurine. These characters will really change your account and will be very good for most of the teams. Character like Hu Hu, I just didn't like the character, but her value is amazing in a team. So the Harmony characters and the preservations and like any support in general will really change your account. So always consider that when you want to build a team. So yeah, that's my beginner guide in 2024. I know it's been long, but I try to, you know, minimize it as much as I can. And yeah, that's about it. If you guys liked it and felt it was helpful, you know, you can also join Discord, feel free, and consider checking the channel for the daily Honkai Star Rail content. Thank you guys again for watching. Stay safe and